We file them, round them up, and we go, you wish to be animals, so we shall treat you like them. You know, put them in the pens with the streakers.
Just screams and like
Just
Yeah, just
and then after a couple of days, we take them out of there, and
their suits
take
are
them
all
out.
torn up.
Take them out, and it's just like hats. It's just hats left.
and then so we go there, and we keep the option. Do you renounce? And we're like, no, I never renounce. Fine. And so what we're going to do is we round them all up again. So what happens when there is a disease in an animal population, specifically cattle animals?
But you
Shoot. So what we would do is
we
not-
shoot them.
yeah, no, but why would we
done that in the first
no,
place?
no. Why?
It seems
why
like
would we
oddly
waste?
similar to the rest of our tactics.
Sure, that's why I'm trying to be.
Sensing a theme.
That's what we do. Is we round them up in farm. And
Why are you speaking in the
That's
accent?
the only way I could probably get my idea
Top
across.
English language,
Okay.
German accent. Okay.
I am speaking English, but with a very thick German accent.
No, you said
Und.
yeah.
No, you
What
can't
is
say
und?
and in
I don't give
German.
a fuck.
And
And.
and
And.
the
But you
dick.
sound posh British. And.
Dick.
Yeah, but go on.
What? And you know those videos they have like, yeah, do you know what you food? And it's like the cows being like fucking beaten up and tased. It would be like that. It would be like a concentration camp.
What we just beat up and tase furries?
Yeah. It would just be like conducting propaganda to get the furries to renounce their ways before we find them. It would just be pictures of people half beaten to death with like organs hanging out their fursuits. It's just like public service announcement. You've got your fairly head of Gestapo, Thomas. Remember?
Thomas.
Thomas. They'd just be, let's see, coming out of and it would be a video. Remember, you must adhere to the guidelines of the community at all times. This is merely an example of what would happen, and it shows like really intense, dramatic footage of like
No,
furries.
It's like a furry. It's like a furry video, except it's like a bunch of furries just sitting down. Except you're using one of those paper cutters, you know, the ones to take off edges. Except you do it to their tail.
If they've got one left after the shrieking.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be they'll be sitting around. There's like their leader who's sitting there with this torn up person, like half his face is showing through it. Never give up. I thought you would say something like that. Do you notice how your suit is not exactly dry, is it?
That's not the
What do you mean? It is not dry. See, I bet you think it's. I bet you think it's gonna be.
Hands just eating.
I bet you think it's gonna be gasoline. No, I have a new idea. So, you may also be thinking it is gasoline. It is a specific pheromone synthesized from allergic people, specifically ones allergic to latex. This scent significantly affects our conditions. No, it's just
It's like war drums. And they like march out.
and like a fucking mob that's like the streakers don't speak. That's why Dave was special. That's why Dave was special.
Yeah, Dave was the only one who spoke.
And even that you could only like just and it's something like and you just hear them in the darkness. It's like feels like an ISIS video. Like the camcorders come, I'm like walking around them, it's in the circle talking. There's just darkness behind them, and that's something I know. Allow me to introduce you. And there's like 50 of them.
No, it would be like you bring Dave out. I think it would be funny if it was like you just bring Dave out and he's like, this is Dave, part of my streaker straw. an elite squadron of hunters is also very attracted to the pheromones you are currently. And these
Don't you
are
dare!
the streakers. And you press a button and it shutters open with hundreds of them.
Yeah. Or no, they sit there like
This
all milling
is
around.
Dave.
Then, it would be
Dave is very attracted to the pheromones you currently have all over your suit. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, sure.
What's it would be like
The more excited they get, the faster their penis is thin.
and then it would be, what's it? You can either go the comedic route, it opens and they're already there going, or if you go like a really dark horror route, it would just be Dave wouldn't speak, it would be Dave and he'd be blindfolded so he can't see, you only smell. And
Yeah,
then
but
they
he's
open
just
up
like,
the
it's like
thing,
viciously
and
moving his head trying
Yeah.
to get the pheromones.
and then I open it up and all of them like behind a blast door or something, they're all like milling around like cattle and they all suddenly slowly turn and then one by one it just goes.
I like to imagine instead of them doing it on their own, they get their hand, they just get it at one side and they go like an old chock engine plane, you know the.
Oh yeah, like that they're cranking it up.
And she's like, nah, and then it's just brutal footage of someone in the first suit getting dick snapped to death.
No blood, it's just someone getting slapped repeatedly with loads of penises.
And then I pull the camera away and it goes, so, let's just be a lesson to you. And it like cuts off there. It's just like, it's always raining because, you know, plot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just constant rain.
Okay, so now we've added furries, and we've also outlined how we're going to deal with them. I say how I'm going to deal with them.
Very,
And hands.
And the disabled, they just sort of shoot them and we're done with them. Like the allergic, put the thing that they're allergic to near them. The furries
Cock slap them to
sexually
death.
assault them with loads of streakers.
It's a bit of a step up, but I think it's a worthwhile one.
So the weirdos was the first big step up where they kill their waifus in front of them
Yeah.
and then shoot them.
Yeah, these are getting progressively worse as we. I like how no. The best thing about this is I'm going to record this. I'm going to look back over it, and it's going to be this happy game going on in the background, and saving robots, and then just we take their waifus outside and we shoot them to the head.
Making some mosh as we do. Oh, it is, so I can't think of anyone else to add to the group. I think we have our black
Yeah,
list.
I think that's everyone that I hate.
I think that's our black list done. Yeah.
Oh no, people who use TikTok.
People who use TikTok. Granted, that will either be like 50-year-old people or 12-year-olds, or maybe younger, just for others.
Make it sound like it's a problem.
Well, even then, so there's got to be, so this way, children. There's a lot of children, right? That's a lot of bullets. Right.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
if you
the
follow-
children, they've got a chance.
Well, when we cock slap furries to death.
Cocks like the kids that are too fucking.
No, the kids get a chance.
Are you showing
Well,
weakness?
no, because they're kids.
Like children?
They don't know what they're doing. Okay, the old biddy. No, I mean,
They're the ones teaching the new generation. Ah,
yeah.
that's right. So
Young
instead-
people are very influential, so we can use that. They could be the next generation of streakers.
So we're breeding them to be.
the ones with the low IQ go into the streakers, the ones with the high IQ go into the allergy Gestapo.
The allergy is stuff. The children in the future. Like I can imagine just finding it out. As you find TikTok, we have like worms inside their little TikTok circle. Like kids. Like we would have.
We have
Trying
worms
to think.
inside kids.
Yeah, no, fuck it.
That's the punishment, yeah.
Literal worms inside.
That's
Why
how
is
we
that a
keep
good
them.
idea?
That's how we keep them monitored with the memes.
Data worms. It won't be a chip. It'll be an actual fucking worm.
Oh,
that
that's
you-
quite a good idea.
Yeah.
It's my idea, because I'm going to be
Oh my god!
Sucking egg.
You know the robots that I'm collecting. There's one sitting crying next to a skeleton.
Oh.
Nigga, this is meant to be kids game. What is this?
But anyway, back on how we caught slapping children in
Oh, yes.
But we're not cock slapping children.
Why not?
It sounds to me like you're saying other words than beef. You're about to say. Sounds like what he says.
Beef.
He agrees.
No.
Yeah, and so there'll be the little data worms, and how the data worms like continue. We would only need to implant a few thousand people in the beginning of the actual data worm, because the data worms to be able to reproduce.
Okay.
But it would be really scary. You know, like how in the Matrix, that fucking worm that goes inside him,
Yes.
it got crawled in his hand and then goes in his belly. It would be like that.
Good touch. Yeah.
And it would be fucking. And they'd be able to like leap out of people into them and like burrow into. Now they make the Nazis see pain. And
Christ.
but yeah, that's how it happened. And
Do you think we've had the Matrix started?
Nazis. But no, do you know what it would be? It would be like once we would have people who were like hosts of hundreds and hundreds of worms inside, and they'd be like husks of people. And like
That's what we do with the weeaboo.
we would deliberately.
Maybe.
To be fair, they have got a lot of fat to be used.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have to, you know, touch them for it to
No, we
happen.
wouldn't.
Someone would
We get the furries to do it.
before, you know, we cock slap to death.
Or get the black people to do it.
Get the black.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
the
We do
Hispanics
need
haven't given
manual
them a job.
labour. That's literally what Adam said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be.
My word is law.
They would be like walking into a room and they'd seem like just sit. Oh no, they would be like just standard worms, and there would be like queens of worms. And the queen ones,
It was
what
like
they
an
do is
ant
they
colony.
Yeah, they find a host with suitable enough mass on them,
Wiggly.
and they, instead of just burrowing into non-essential parts, it would like weeds. It puts roots into like internal organs, so that you
Oh,
can't get rid
do you
of
mean?
it.
I think it would be cooler if it was like, what were those weird fat creatures from Doctor Who? And they like made themselves out of parts of the people.
Adipose.
Yeah. What if they were more like adipose?
Adipose, obviously less cute than the adipose were.
With different words.
Like I think like a metallic worm would
Yeah.
be much more
Something that
scary.
we have complete control over.
Yeah.
But it would also be able to
Act
have
of its
control.
own
Yeah.
accord to
Yeah.
a certain degree. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be like a queen. Like so, the normal ones would be like 7, 8, maybe even less than that, like 5, 6 centimeters long. Little things, you know, because they can just fit in your neck and still bend around. That sort of. Like the queens would be like half a foot long, or maybe even longer, like a foot.
Yeah.
Huge.
And a queen would have to take mass from a host. in order
Oh,
to-
that's it. That's how it fuels
Yeah.
itself. Yeah. And as it's sitting there, colonise it inside, pumping them out inside. It uses the digestive system and fat tissue around it. Because fat tissue is non-essential, and they can just live inside the intestine without causing any damage. Yeah, that would happen. And so it makes.
Well, I think the problem with this, no one's going to get fat on eating 1 PM a week.
That's why we use the weeaboos.
The people who break protocol.
Okay, well,
we force people.
the queens go into once they find a host, they send out a signal. The Gestapo comes and picks them up,
Force fed.
and then take it to a place.
Or it could be like that. Or it would be like.
Wow, we're really thinking about this.
It would be subtle changes. So they suddenly find they have pubic hairs for no reason, and it gradually just kind of increases. So they
I
start.
think if you spent your whole life
Stop.
having Erky every week, you're going to notice it. Oh, it's really.
I don't mean like their food parcels arrive, and it's just like 1, 2, there you go. I don't mean like that. I mean it's just subtly, so they start to gain weight all the time, and like they lose their job, so they just sit at home and do nothing. And then it's like they get infected by it. It's like a single. So the queen isn't like full size. Originally, it's the same size as all the other worms.
I don't know, I quite like the idea of like having a warehouse full of them.
Look, the queen's crawling around.
Yeah, like in hosts. Or like the queen takes over the nigger. Like completely takes over, goes into his like
Brainstem.
and completely takes over.
This is more in depth than bloody Warhammer.
It would be,
Yeah, what happened to just slaughtering the disabled?
That's where the fucking. I'm gonna